Good morning. I'm Acting Laboratory Director Stephen Klingeman, and I would like to welcome our partners with Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, along with the Columbia Police Department, the Madison County Coroner, and others to the Metro East Forensic Science Laboratory. This laboratory was completed in 2014 and includes the following specialties: drug chemistry, footwear tire tracks, firearms tool marks, latent prints, trace chemistry, and forensic biology, which also includes DNA testing. With the advancements of the field of forensic science, we have more tools now to help us solve cases, including cold cases. So now I'd like to turn everything over to ISP Director Brendan Kelly.
All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Metro East Laboratory here. This is easily one of my favorite places in the Illinois. Whoop, hold on right there. Was I talking too loud again? How's that? Good? Good for you guys back there? Okay, good. Anyway, welcome. This is easily one of my favorite places that we have in the Illinois State Police. It's an outstanding facility with amazing personnel. It's a beautiful laboratory, and as the acting director said, this has every discipline that you can imagine. It's also a place that the men and women of the Illinois State Police, who serve in so many different capacities, work out of. It's crime scene. Our investigators are here. And it's often a place that I have the privilege of working out of, even though I have to go up and down I-55 all day, every day, between here and Chicago and Springfield, with all the various responsibilities we have as the Illinois State Police. But being from this area, it's always great to be at this facility because it's, like I said, one of my favorites. And I want to thank all of you for joining us here today on what I think is a pretty neat story, a pretty cool announcement from the Illinois State Police and our partnership with Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. To stop crime, you have to solve crime and to get those who commit crime off the streets. And to do that, you need highly qualified and trained special agents and forensic scientists. In 2022, the Illinois State Police partnered with Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville on Zone 6 Cold Case Internship Program to provide unpaid practical experience for criminal justice program students. And this partnership has yielded positive results on many fronts. For SIUE students, they received firsthand real-world experience when it comes to investigating criminal cases. They see and experience the work it takes to investigate a homicide, unidentified body, or shooting, or many other crimes. And by working closely with our special agents, these students are becoming the next generation, potentially, of investigators and potential law enforcement workforce of the future. In addition to the experience that students gain and the growth of the future workforce, this partnership is providing ISP special agents with another resource to advance work on cold cases and bring closure and justice to victims and their families. These are very important cases, and we need as many resources as we can get our hands on from whatever way we can utilize resources that are being given to us. And that's why this is such an important project. Already in 2025, our special agents here in the Metro East have identified women in 3 Jane Doe cases and obtained charges in a 14-year-old homicide case. We'll have more on these cases in a minute, but right now I'd like to introduce Southern Illinois University Edwardsville Professor of Criminal Justice Studies, Dr. Trish Oberweis, to talk more about the Zone 6 Cold Case Internship Program and to hear from someone who has benefited from it. So with that, let me hand it over to you, Dr. Oberweis.
Thank you, everyone, for being here and listening to the details of this incredible collaboration. I appreciate your time and interest. I'm also grateful for the support of my chancellor, Dr. James Miner, and my provost, Dr. Denise Cobb, and thank you, Director Kelly, for allowing the majors and I to try something so new and different. Your faith in us is deeply appreciated. I'm here to describe the vision of Majors Abby Keller and Mike Lewis, who invited me to this collaboration. It was inspired by their deep and abiding care for the unidentified people and victims of homicide and their families. We've been full partners in all that we've built. I'm also grateful for the enthusiastic participation of SIUE students, some of whom are here today, who've been eager to do this work, to learn the ins and outs of homicide investigations, and to think deeply and critically about each case that's been assigned. Our team has grown to include Master Sergeant Scott Wobe and his case agents, Zone 6 Commander Jamie Brunworth, a team of forensic scientists who teach us new things every single semester, and a prosecutor who's donated his time and insight to our cases. I'm so proud of our project and all we've accomplished, and I'm deeply impressed by Majors Lewis and Keller for their commitment to old crimes. The cases we've worked with so far mostly predate the digital age in crime report management. The folders and boxes of reports and evidence, photos, notes became in and of themselves a sort of barrier to renewing those investigations. The time investment required to organize, review, and come up to speed on an old case takes dozens of hours. We hoped that college students might be a force multiplier for Zone 6, and so we developed a course that invites college students to participate in real homicide investigations. The students are embedded in the Zone 6 building. They're immersed in the real world problem of cold homicide cases. Each group is selected to try to create a multidisciplinary group. So we look for students in criminal justice studies, biology, forensics, chemistry, and other academic disciplines. They complete a specially developed training to learn about cold cases and the structure and the supportive nature of ISP with other law enforcement agencies in the region. They learn about the documents that will be included in the files, and they learn to think critically about the things that should be there but might be filed somewhere else. They learn about all the elements of a case that might have changed over time, allowing new leads to develop. They learn about developments in chemistry, biology, and firearms analysis, as well as newly implemented tools to aid investigations like forensic investigative genetic genealogy. They learn to look for cases that might have evidence that could benefit from those scientific innovations that may have developed after the crime was initially investigated. In their case reviews, students dive headfirst into critical thinking, real-world problem solving, and police investigative processes. They create a sort of quick start guide that summarizes the crime and the investigative steps that have already occurred, and they package that in a uniform and readily accessible format, even suggesting which cases appear closest to a resolution. This invites renewed investigation in those old cases. The cases of Crystal Lay, Kelly Johnson, and Truman Smith were assigned to students. They pulled together all the available information on each of these three victims. They presented their cases to our team, and that team renewed their investigations and ultimately named two women whose identities had been hidden for decades. They advocated for charges against Alan Davis for the murder of Truman Smith. In each of these cases, the renewed investigation began with a student review and took root with the police, who continued the case development until women were named and a suspect was charged. The collaboration has offered a variety of mutual benefits. ISP investigators now have ready access to the key components of many cold cases in a quick and uniform format. SIUE students have honed their critical thinking skills, participated in the real-world pursuit of justice, and built professional networks outside their academic training ground. Several have changed their career aspirations following the experience. Majors Keller and Lewis and I have created a collaboration that works and that can be implemented elsewhere as well. We see ways to expand our collaboration, and we look forward to those new developments. For now, I'd like to introduce you to Riley Franklin, who was one of the students who worked the cases that we're here talking about today.
Hi everyone. I'm honored to be here today to represent the Cold Case Project. I began my educational journey in criminal justice, driven by a desire to make a difference in the lives of those affected by crime. As a student, I had the incredible opportunity to help revive cold cases, including the cases of Kelly Johnson and Crystal Lay, who had remained nameless for decades. My role involved carefully reviewing case files, organizing materials, and ultimately making recommendations on how to move the investigation forward. One of these recommendations was to pursue forensic investigative genetic genealogy testing, which is an avenue I believed offered the strongest possibility for identifying them. Thanks to the dedication of the Illinois State Police, both Kelly and Crystal were identified through genetic testing. Knowing I played even a small role in helping return a name to these women who had gone unidentified for so long is something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. The pride I feel is difficult to put into words. It's one thing to study casework in the classroom. It's another thing entirely to see your work help bring real answers and real closure to a grieving family. Working on these cases helped me realize where my heart truly lies. The opportunity to help restore the identities of these women led me to narrow my focus to forensic anthropology, a specialization that's often employed for identification. I discovered a deep passion for speaking for those who can no longer speak for themselves. Helping to ensure that every individual is known, honored, and given the chance to be returned to those who love them. That belief is now at the core of everything I hope to do moving forward. I'm deeply grateful to SIUE, and especially Dr. Trish Oberweis, for the opportunity, and to the Illinois State Police for placing such meaningful trust in students like myself. The experience has laid a strong foundation for the future I hope to build in criminal justice, and I'm incredibly proud to have played a part, however small, in giving these women their names back. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Overweiss and Riley. And as you heard, each semester SIU students review cold cases and apply a solvability matrix to help prioritize cases based on the likelihood that it could be furthered. And among the cases SIUE students reviewed were unknown women or Jane Does found more than 20 years ago. In 2002, the bodies of 3 women, believed to be victims of serial killer Maury Travis, were found along Illinois roadways. After review, ISP entered all 3 cases into the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, or NamUs, in 2014, and ensured the completion of DNA analysis at the University of North Texas Center for Human Identification. This year, students were able to witness the results of ISP's continued efforts to identify each of these women, which includes Kelly Johnson, whose family is able to join us here today. Collaboration with partner criminal justice agencies and support services, including the Columbia Police Department, the FBI, St. Charles County Police Department in Missouri, the Madison, Monroe, and St. Clair County Coroners, NamUs, and the University of North Texas Center for Human Identification has led to the identification of all 3 women. In another case, ISP special agents reviewed the death of Truman Smith, who was shot and killed in February 2011 while making a delivery at East St. Louis. This past May, after an extensive investigation, the St. Clair County State's Attorney's Office charged 34-year-old Alan Davis of East St. Louis with Truman Smith's murder. Joining us today is Jeanette Smith, Truman Smith's mother, who it's truly an honor to have here with us. So, Ms. Smith, please.
See if I can get through this without the ugly face cry. I'd like to, first of all, thank the lady that stopped and seen something was wrong and called for help. Miss Golden wasn't afraid to stop like most people would. She called for help, and they got there. Unfortunately, he did not make it, but at least he wasn't alone laying in the street. Let me get my train of thought back. I want you to know that this does not mend our broken hearts, and this doesn't give us closure. When the case is over and there's justice made, then the case will be closed. But it will not be closure for us. But life goes on, and we'll make it through it. We've made it 14 years and 5 months. We're going to make it. And I want to thank all the people who worked on this case. And before long, I won't have to be calling every month. 14 years and 5 months I've made that phone call because they wasn't going to put him on a shelf and forget about him. They wasn't going to put him now in a computer file and put him in the back of the computer. So I want to thank all of you.
Thank you, Jeanette, appreciate it. Every case is important. Every case is important, no matter how old. And every case has a victim. Every case has a loved one that needs answers. The Zone 6 Cold Case Internship Program is helping ensure the next generation of investigators are ready to bring those committing crimes to justice while assisting our current special agents focused on solving cases. So thank you all very much for being here today, and I'm happy to take a few questions with regards to the internship program. Megan? How many we got? About 8 per semester, says Dr. Overweiss. So you guys know the timeline? Exactly when in each case? Yeah, come on up. Get somebody who knows what they're talking about, all right?
All of the DNA answers came back within this last year. We submitted the cases for DNA testing, looking for forensic investigative genetic genealogy, and one of those cases ended up being solved using that technique by the FBI Investigative Genetic Genealogy Task Force. The other 2 were identified through a collaboration with the St. Charles County, Missouri Police Department, reviewing DNA that was submitted by missing family members of missing persons long ago. And they were able to reanalyze that DNA from those family members and make a match to our I-64 and the Columbia Jane Doe case.
Well, I think one of the, Illinois State Police, ISP, our values are integrity, service, and pride, and that's what the P stands for, is pride, usually, and you can see it on our state seal here. But often the P stands for persistence, and that's certainly the case when it comes to these cold cases, that you have to stay at it, you have to keep working. And there are new cases coming in every day that our special agents in the zone work, and that our amazing forensic scientists here in this building work every day, but they truly never forget about those ones that still remain unsolved. And our people are just so persistent, they never quit, they stay after it, but you do have limited resources. They are human beings, we do have limited resources. So anytime we can come up with a new way to amplify the resources that we have, to have a more force multiplier, and also have the opportunity to add knowledge and develop people who will potentially be working on these cases in the future. I hope some of these students will wind up working in our labs, will wind up working as special agents potentially in the Illinois State Police or somewhere else in the criminal justice system. That is definitely a win-win, and we're just glad that we have this lab here, we have our zone here, and we have a great partnership with Southern Illinois University Edwardsville that's willing to try these new approaches, where we just need people sometimes to literally go through paper files. We obviously have a lot of things that are digitized, and there's just so much information, and sometimes you just have to have the human, manpower there to go through the paper, organize things in a way according to the algorithm that we have developed, and the students have obviously been very helpful in that. Well, I know that our folks every day perform small miracles, and I kind of honestly get used to it. And I think as members of the public, we also kind of get used to it, and we don't realize sometimes these cases don't wrap up in 52 minutes like they do in a television show. It is a long process. It is a complicated process, and there's often times where things can seem hopeless, but you just have to stay after it and hope for a break, and this is an example of that. So it's a great thing that we have here. What else? No, we have other partnerships with academic institutions, but not on cold cases like this. So I think this is frankly a model that you could see between the Illinois State Police and other academic institutions, and something that could be replicated in other parts of the state. It's hard to tell because obviously these cases are in this region, and we have this regional partnership here with Southern Illinois University Edwardsville. But our folks in every part of the state are doing everything they can with whatever resources we have to be able to continuously work those cases and improve the solve rate. And so that's taking place every day, in every corner of the state. Anything else? We can, I don't know if you know specifically, Abby, but if we could also get our PAO to give you that specific information, what the most current update is. Anyone else? Well, again, thank you all very much for being here. Thank you to SIUE. Thank you to our Zone 6 special agents and our majors here that worked on this so much. And I hope you all enjoy our beautiful lab and have a great day. It's hot out there. Stay cool.